Vlog of a monk massage therapist? What is this? I thought this man was doing a 30-day smoothie challenge. Why did it end at day 6? I failed. So I'm starting a new vlog, and I want to be more open and transparent about myself. I'm going to introduce myself to you guys again. What do you mean you're going to be a monk? I mean, I'm trying to understand spirituality here, and I'll go more into that in a second. Let me give you more of an overview. I'm a massage therapist. I love what I do most of the time. I'm still trying to figure out how to evolve myself into the next step. I know I'm not just going to do only massage, only stretching as my niche for the rest of my life. I want to get into herbalism. I love healing people. I love fulfilling human potential. I love exploring consciousness. That's why I'm so interested in spirituality and yoga. But it's not the easiest path to create your own career, to make your own way. And so I want to vlog it. Spirituality is also a very tricky territory that can confuse you in so many ways, because it has to do with your internal belief systems and how do you even approach it? How do you even define spirituality? So, these are real things that I'm feeling very deeply. It's taken over my life. For example, I don't really date that much right now. I don't have sex right now. I'm celibate because, in the yogic traditions, you have all these swamis that talk about celibacy, linking to your physical vitality, being able to turn that physical vitality into a form of energy that, number one, enhances your perception, number two, empowers your body and mind. And I've found that to be very true. So, I don't watch porn, I don't go out and have promiscuous sex, but I'm still a human, and I still feel a drawing towards, having a girlfriend and sex. So I'm just going to be completely transparent and honest. I go a little bit back and forth. I vacillate, but I do a lot of yoga and meditation, and I can definitely see that there's something much more precious than just the pleasure you get from sex. There's something much more intimate than the closest you can get from sex, because eventually you fall apart. The unity doesn't stay there. And so I'm going for that love. I'm going for that unity. I'm going for that feeling of bliss and fun and contribution, involvement, togetherness. Everyone feels it. It's just we don't know how to sustain it. And so I feel like that's what spirituality is for me. How to sustain that true feeling of oneness, bliss, happiness, honesty, authenticity, and a natural, joyful enriching of yourself and people around you. It should be very natural. And also a self-mastery over your compulsiveness, a freedom from your compulsions. And, how do we know that is possible? Well, we see people around us who are at different levels like this. We see different people who have different levels of self-mastery, happiness, perception, profoundness of experience. And then we see people who are just animals. I'm sorry, I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I just mean, we all know what it feels like just to eat, sleep, make money, have sex. That's what an animal does, except for we complicate it and we take it much more seriously than animals. We go around kicking and screaming, and animals just go around being animals. So, whoa there. So I'm a silly guy. I'm gonna show that more on camera to you guys. I'm not gonna pretend to be as formal and professional. My professional vids where I'm teaching and educating, yeah, that's gonna be a little bit more serious, because I just want to get the mission done. I just want to get the information across. But I just want to be real on my vlog with y'all about where I am with my mood. I'm not gonna put on a spiritual mask. I'm not gonna put on a professional mask. I'm just gonna be me. This is really me. And I'm driving to work and I feel good, and I just had my smoothie. I'm still doing liquid only, even though I ate a carrot and a beet yesterday and a plantain. Why? Because I love it. I feel good. You know what I mean? I just feel good. This ain't no crash diet. So don't straw man me. This ain't no fad crash diet. I'm doing it because I naturally just love the feeling. For those who are interested, you can look up Nithyananda Nirahama Samyama. You don't know how to spell that, so I'm going to put it in the description below. It's a process where you drink only liquids as your food, and your whole consciousness and your mentality and your body changes. You detox is one thing. And the second thing is that you get a little bit of mastery over sloth and gluttony. Those tendencies inside us. That's why humanity gave it a name, because it's these strong tendencies inside us that we should, well, there is no should, but we can transcend with higher virtues, with higher sentiments, with higher energies in our system. What I mean by that is like you're being powered by something else, like a motivation to accomplish, a motivation to create, a motivation to experience something beautiful, an excitement that you're not just eating into a stupor and you're not just being lazy. That's what I mean. It's very practical. Nirahama Samyama. That's what part of this process is. This is my weird life as a monk massage therapist, looking for the next step, creating the next step, and enjoying the process and not taking it too seriously. So this is the new series. Good morning. My name's John Van Dyne. Isn't that usually what people say at the beginning of the video? It doesn't matter. I'm saying at the end of the video because that's just what we do around here, guys. All right, boom, we're back. I want to talk about pornography. I want to talk about sexuality a little bit. I was addicted to pornography and it made my life a living hell. Aside from it breaking up me and my previous girlfriend because she felt cheated on her, I always just felt demoralized and weak. And I don't think it's just a mental thing. I had a lot of conversations with people. I read a lot of books on this. Very wise men talking about this. Pornography, clinically, scientifically, does the same thing to your brain as hard drugs. It floods your brain with dopamine, just like dope. That's why they call it dope. And when this happens, your nervous system changes. You dump all your dopamine from your brain, which means throughout the rest of your day, you're gonna have less dopamine when you do little things like read a book or look at a sunset. For people who don't understand why drugs are bad for you, this is why. You flood your brain with all this dopamine, and then the receptor points in your brain that receive that dopamine and feel good and feel motivated, it takes more and more dopamine to get the same response, which means it's harder and harder for you to feel motivated and happy and fulfilled and energized. And that's why you have to keep on going back to the drug to get more and more dopamine. And it just creates this downward spiral. It's really evil. It's really scary. So that's what porn was doing to me. I felt depressed as hell until I quit. And I stopped masturbating too, because you're just playing the same movies in your head. You know, I realized that. I was like, I'm watching porn in my head. I'm not physically watching porn, but I'm mentally watching it. And then I stopped doing that. I started feeling even stronger and even happier. And then I started researching NoFap, which is the movement where you don't masturbate and you don't watch porn for 30 days or an extended period of time, and you see how you feel. And you find yourself getting more energized and happier. So I started getting really interested in this, researching it more and more, because it was the number one thing that was dragging me down, just being honest. And same thing with hooking up and promiscuity on Tinder. That kind of stuff wouldn't really make me feel good about myself either. I just hook up and then feel like an idiot. It wasn't really worth all the time that I put into it. And I thought that wasn't profound really at all, even if it felt good. And so, just by my own personal experience, I'm intuiting that there's something to this sexual transmutation process that Napoleon Hill talks about, that Swami Vivekananda talks about, and Swami Sivananda talks about. They have entire discourses and lectures and books called Brahmacharya, which is you're conserving all of your vital energy, the most powerful energy in your body that has the power to create another life. The semen, the sex force, the sex instinct, you're harnessing that And you're doing things in your life to help you convert that into whatever means you want, instead of it being compulsive and leading you like an animal to behave like an animal. Nothing wrong with it, but I'm definitely not against it. Don't get that impression that I'm against it. It's just, if you want to control it, you can. If you want to channel it, you can. And there's a science to it. Not a lot of people talk about it, but this has to be talked about because porn is probably the most prevalent drug in society right now, and it's wreaking a lot of havoc in people's minds and their energies, our productivity, and also it's making us slaves to our lust. Let's be honest. Lust is like a spell that controls you until you fulfill it, and then after you fulfill it, you're not interested in it anymore, and so it controls your behavior in a very strong way, and it messes with your loyalty if you're in a relationship. I know this from firsthand experience. So it can potentially break up families. It can potentially break up close relationships. There's a lot of danger here. Now, don't think I'm demonizing it. I'm not a moralist. I'm really not. You can do whatever you want in life. But there is consequences. You really think that there's not consequences for dumping 10 million of your sperm? You think that's free for your body to create? It's not free. It takes a lot of energy. It's the most complex cell in your body. Plus the social consequences. So here we are. We are at work for a massage, and we'll talk soon. Mwah.